My name's Daniel Mercado. I am involved in Alamo Heights United Methodist Church, the Modern Worship Common Space, and I have a group of fellowship with men that we call ourselves Los Vencedores. Back in January of 2024, I knew I needed God in my life. I had been praying, and somebody had introduced me to the Bible, and he showed me a lot of things that I didn't know and didn't understand. But I was at a time in my life in that January 2024, and I lived near the neighborhood, and I drove by the church one day, and I just happened to pull in, and they were having service, and I met Krista, and she was just so welcoming and so open and loving. And, I don't know what got in me to tell her my story, and I told her some of the deepest parts of me and why I was here. So she basically showed me the service, and I went to the service. It was great. Following week, I came to modern service. And in the modern service, I remember just hearing the music and hearing the band and hearing the pastor. And I was just overwhelmed with the love and the joy, and how that band and the songs that they played was just touching me and giving me those things that I needed. And I remember right after the service, I believe Ryan had said, if anybody needs prayer, we're going to have a couple of the people from the church and go out there to pray with him. So that day, I needed prayer. I was in between jobs, and I remember praying with Pastor Janet and Jack. It was really good, and that week I ended up getting hired. And not to say that prayers always happen that way, but it really encouraged me to come back to church. And then I talked to Krista, talked to Jack, and I was happy that I had that. Well, Krista introduced me to a group of men called Los Vencedores. It was Randy and Kurt and a bunch of other guys. And when I met those guys, they showed me a lot of love, a lot of hope. They gave me a lot of prayer. I hadn't spoken to my sister in years. I hadn't talked to my brother. And just getting those prayers and having that hope and having guys around me that I can talk to, feel comfortable with, be vulnerable with, it changed my life for the better. And I'll be grateful to the first day that I came in here, to having these guys. And, it's probably the best thing that I've done in my life. And as I continue to come to church every week, I need it. Throughout this time, I remember talking about going to a retreat. I didn't know anything about a retreat. I had talked to Daryl, and Daryl had set something up, and it just wasn't right timing for me. So I didn't get to go to that last year, but I was able to go to a retreat sponsored by the church and sponsored by Randy. And that was one of the best things that I've ever done as well. I think about that retreat and how much love and the fellowship of men, to see the Holy Spirit moving in me, to see the things that these men do, how they serve their community, has really inspired me to do more, to help out more, in the church, and seeing how the church helps other people, how they helped with the floods in Kerrville was truly amazing. To see how they help everybody, and it's given me inspiration to do more. Me thinking back when I first started coming, a lot of my friends know me and know when I was struggling and had a lot, and they see me now and they're like, wow, Daniel, you've changed, you're a different person. I don't necessarily see me giving other people hope, but my friends do tell me wow, I talked to one of my friends just recently, and I told him, I'm having battles of my faith and whatnot, but I know I need to come to church because that's what gives me. And he told me, he's like, don't stop, because where am I going to be if you stop? So just me coming to church and knowing that I have a group of men, everybody here knows me. I know them. I have a lot of love and a lot of hope because of my church. And, I just encourage anybody that needs it or lacks it, that we're here for them and I'm here for them. I just thank Alamo Heights, and I thank Krista and everybody here, because I feel the love, and I know that hope is here and hope is within God. And I hope that I can help somebody else, and that's just my prayers for y'all. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Stories from the Seats. Don't forget to follow or subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss a single episode. If you have a story that you think would be great on the podcast, email us at podcasts@ahumc.org. That's podcasts@ahumc.org. To learn more about who we are, visit our website ahumc.org anytime. Any related links are also in this episode's show notes. Again, thank you so much for being a listener. We truly appreciate your time.